Welcome to the Dream Journal. From the studios of KSQD in Santa Cruz, the Dream Journal is a weekly show where we explore the power of nighttime dreams through conversations with dream experts and with listeners like you.
In the house behind, the life you find is something understood.
A dream can be meaningful even if you don't know what it means. Today's music is called Premani Torrent. There are many ways to open the door to the unseen world: sound or singing, stillness or movement, nature immersion. Meet Rachel Schafer, who is going to talk to us about dreaming into love. I'm your host, Catherine Bell of Experiential Dreamwork, and welcome to the Dream Journal. I have had so many dreams about music lately. Music is taking over my life, and I love it. Lots of singing and playing ukulele and learning how to jam, learning how to solo, playing with family and friends, and showing up in my dreams. I love it when the dreams reflect the best parts of our lives. Okay, let's say hello to Rachel Schafer. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Rachel. So, coming from a diverse background, immersed in spiritual training, motherhood, and health challenges, Rachel mentors those who are desiring a deeper connection with their dreams and bodies by guiding them as they walk through the shadow essence of their wounds and into the clarity of their unimagined lives. Rachel's webpage is called dreamingintolove.com. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Great. So, yeah, we're talking about your webpage is called Dreaming into Love. Let's just jump right into that. What does that mean to you?
It's a good question. Mm-hmm. I actually named the website this, and I didn't know why.
Intuition. Woohoo.
I didn't know what it meant. I mean, it meant different things along the way. But for me, over the years, what it's come to mean is really learning how to dream your reality of love.
Okay.
And in various ways. And starting with the body.
Okay.
And so most spiritual practices tend to bypass the body, or we leave the body, right? We're going to dream and we're going to explore. What I've learned over the years is to use the body as an anchor to better exploration.
Okay.
That we're taking the body along with us. And dream exploration can get quite complicated when we bypass a lot of our wounds and our physicality. And I just learned this, when I had gotten quite ill, that the illnesses had shown me that I needed to turn towards my body first. And that there was a wealth of information that I wasn't turning towards. In fact, I was quite avoiding.
Well, especially when you have an illness, I would think that it would be natural to want to turn away from what's so uncomfortable.
Exactly. So that's a lot of what Dreaming into Love is about, is turning towards the uncomfortable and the parts of ourselves that we don't want to look at and the feelings that come with that we don't want to feel.
Yeah, I resonate because I turned away from my body for so much of my life, and that even now it has to be like a conscious reminder to turn towards the body.
Yeah.
Do you find that's a common experience of people that you work with, and with yourself as well?
Say
yeah.
Most all of us.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the systems that we were born into, we weren't really taught how, in most cultures around the world, maybe not all, but we aren't taught how to be with our feelings, the intensity of our feelings, happy or sad. But we tend to turn towards desiring all the things that feel good.
Well, yeah.
And we tend to create a lot of anxiety and stress in our bodies when we repress certain feelings and prefer the others.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's some basis for that. I mean, I think the feelings, feeling good is sort of designed evolutionarily for us to turn towards things that feel good. And yet I guess we can kind of weaponize that and just totally turn away from everything that feels bad instead of figuring out why or recognizing the value of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we have a greater capacity to feel the fuller range of feelings that we can as humans, it changes our dreams.
Ooh, say more about
how
that.
we are in this dream.
That was going to be my next question. How does this tie in with dreaming? Perfect.
Yeah. Well, that's something I've noticed. Maybe I'll go into one of my my dreaming experiences.
Please. Oh, that'd be lovely. Thanks.
Yeah. So, yeah, when I was like in my 20s, I had quite a bit of sleep paralysis.
Oh.
And really scary and hard to, get out of the dream. And what I noticed throughout the years when I started to turn more towards myself and to look at these, shadow pieces or the wounding that had occurred, I started to, set boundaries. I mean, my body was like, you have got to do something different in your life to get out of this. I was on the ground, at times told I was going to die. So I was facing my death, which is definitely, to me, a major doorway to dreaming is death inquiry. And, when I started to set boundaries in this life, then I noticed my dreams started to change. And so my willpower was more on board in my waking, day. And when I went to sleep, then my will started to develop in my dream time as well.
Can you maybe give us some examples of like themes and how they shifted as you went through this?
Yeah, well, I'll give you an idea. Yeah. So when I was, just so when we're walking through the world and we are disassociated from our body, and there can be quite a bit of chaos, and that dissociation can come from, various wounds that we've had.
Right.
And it's just more scary to be in the body. And so a lot of times we'll leave the body from trauma. And so that's how I was walking around, barely in my body. And decision making was really challenging, to stand up for myself or to just make the basic decisions. Was challenging. And so when I leaned more into, it became scary. It was scary to come back into the body and say, okay, this is the safe place, even though it was so unfamiliar and uncomfortable at first. So it's like, how can something that's uncomfortable feel safe? So it took time. And once I turned towards that process more and more with great support, somatic experiencing, shadow work, even Tantra, traditional Tantra, um, and different shamanic practices, I was able to come more fully into my body. And then, so the example here is like, I don't have sleep paralysis anymore, but it did come up about a month ago.
Oh.
And it was hilarious because I use a lot of sound. That's one of the ways, right? Singing, sound, movement. And so I was stuck in this dream where I was like I couldn't tell that I was asleep or dreaming. So that's how real it felt. And, some energy opened the door and I was laying on my stomach and it came over my body. And in my mind, I was like, oh, no, 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 no. I recognize this. And whereas before, in my earlier years with sleep paralysis, you just cannot, you're paralyzed. You cannot move. And your mind, you're awake. It's very scary. So I recognized it to be one of these experiences. And so I used sound. I recognized what was happening and I tore over like my hand, my whole arm flung in one sweeping motion as I turned over my whole body and just roared like a lion.
Whoa. Okay. Aw.
And normally it's like I would get up, open the windows and, walk around and it would be intense to try and go back to sleep. But oh no, that was all that was needed. And so I roared and I was like, oh yeah, no. And I went back to sleep and I was
It's like, we're
fine.
done. Wow. So you
Yeah.
just like intuitively knew to do this really big sound to channel that lion.
Yeah, like it was just there within me. And to me, that's something that I've learned. That's the animal body. This is the primal body. And when we have this, when we're anchored into our body, then these dream explorations, that aspect of us goes with us. And so our decision making and our dreaming it just becomes, what would I say? I don't want to say safe, but it just, there's more clarity. There's more clarity.
Well, it's so interesting you're talking about the animal body, because maybe there's something about why animal dreams can be so profound. A lion or tiger, of course, something, or an eagle, but there's also even just like a mouse or a house cat. Like there's something about animal dreams that really always speaks to me. And maybe there's something about our bodies and like reclaiming that nonverbal body, the body that doesn't have to go through the prefrontal cortex and get analyzed and judged and talked about. And you just roared, like you're just like, okay, I'm in this place and I'm ready to get out of it. And you just like let your body express itself like a lion.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I don't feel like there's so my training has been so non-analytical, more intuitive and spiritually, like energetic training. And I've really come to feel that, I don't know if you've heard of like dreaming awake, like from the Toltec practices.
Tell us about that, dreaming awake.
Yeah. Well, this is something that's, I don't know if it's more, maybe it is more familiar to me than nighttime dreams. So it's like altering your perception. Hallucinogenics do it. But I found ways, like I said, like through sound and frequency, even singing, being in nature, to alter your perception and to move into dreaming awake. It's like immersing yourself, getting still, and or moving very slowly on the land, smelling the land, gazing upon the light in the water, listening to the trees, being with the birds, listening to the wind. All of these things, um, to me, show me that we are in this dream.
Mm.
And there's not a lot of difference between our night dreams and this dreaming awake experience. It's just that we're in a system where we're quite blinded, kind of by a veil, you could say. So we're not able to easily see the unseen world. We need these little shifts to alter our perception in order
yeah, go ahead.
to access it.
In order to access it. Yeah, I'm just like kind of mulling this over. There's always a lot of excitement about lucid dreaming. Like, wow, and I noticed I was dreaming, and I looked at my hands, and I became awake. But you're talking about becoming awake. Noticing the dream of waking life. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. And feeling into the different dimensional shifts that can occur just with a little shift in your perception. One of these ways is, like I said, using death. So death inquiry, you can talk yourself into a perceptual shift just by, talking with another about death. I used to do it with my sister when we were like little girls. We look up at the stars and just talk ourselves into the stars. And we'd feel our death, and oh my gosh, we'd get scared.
Wow. Death inquiry. So that's just basically talking about it and what it might be like, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's one way for people to do that if they're not experienced in shifting their perception. It's something that can occur to me, daily or weekly. I've had a lot of loss and in different ways, and about 5 years ago, my father passed away, and we were very close, and he was he was instrumental in my childhood to connect me to the earth and really listen. And I carried that in my childhood, and that was our connection. And it was very heart-based. And so before, I had the privilege to be with him before he died. And one of the things I did with him, before we sang together, and I sang to him. He had lost his ability to speak. And we just connected our hearts through me singing to him. And we both shifted and entered into a whole nother realm together. And I knew that then that it was very profound. I had never experienced anything like that specifically. But I knew then that this would be how we would communicate after he died. So we were building a bridge, a connection, so that when he passed into the other realm, we could still be in contact.
And has that come so? Do you still feel connected to your father?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we went on to have incredible experiences that maybe we couldn't have while he was alive. Very profound. One of the biggest connections I've had. I do connect with beings from other worlds. I'm not like a channeler. I don't call myself a healer or anything. I don't attach to any role. It's just something that I experience, and connecting with loved ones that have passed and some others has just been something that I've experienced in my life. Yeah.
So you were talking about the Toltec practices. I wonder if you want to say anything more about that from the female perspective in particular.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, just to give a little background
Yeah.
here, I was in my late teens when I began training through reading the books of Carlos Castaneda and was with a group of people that were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I trained for like 8 years inside of that. And it was an informal training,
Mm-hmm.
just to be short here.
Sure.
And yeah, and then went on to train in the shamanic Native American, apprenticed an elder and went on to do that. And yeah, so my dreaming definitely changed from these different types of groups
Mm-hmm.
and my experiences there. Um,
In what way? Do you want to say a little bit about how they've changed?
yeah. I'll say the Toltec experience that I had was very harsh
Mm.
and immersive.
Mm.
And I was pushing past a lot of my own heart and my own nature to
Mm.
try and do these practices. And it created a lot of stress on my being. And to have come at it from such a young age before developing, um, the mind, it was my teenage mind that was coming to train in this way, and it caused a lot of confusion. But it was pretty amazing. We did practices like putting our heads together. I would, um, we would travel and meet each other in dreams,
Mm.
and um,
Other
you
people in
know,
the group? Mm.
yeah. So we did some, yeah, group work, and yeah, and then it changed and evolved. I became like a dreaming scout for the elder. There were things that were attacking him in dreams, and he couldn't find them. And I had this ability to, just because of my past dreaming experiences, I suppose, I was able to give certain information that revealed where these beings were that were attacking him.
Oh, well. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but again, very, very harsh experience. There was a lot of misuse of power in both.
Mm.
And
I'm sorry. Yeah.
yeah, it created a lot to recover from in my life. And so I spent the rest of my life recovering
Right. Okay.
from these experiences. And so a lot, and then I became a mother inside of it. And so I really needed to shut the door on everything I had learned, just to focus on being a mother.
Absolutely. Right.
And and this became my medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I began to realize that all of these lineages, these powerful elders and, men that I've trained with are amazing in certain ways, disastrous in other ways.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
But they don't have a womb.
Oh, that's
And
true. So here's the feminine
women,
perspective, the womb. Yeah.
yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And so, birthing children into this world, I mean, if you want to know about dreaming, ask a mother who has given birth.
So tell us some of your
And
experiences. What was some of your experience around this dreaming, womb dreaming?
womb. Yeah. So I have found, and I will be offering something new I haven't done before because it's coming in, is this offering called Womb Dreaming. So it'll be here next year, I believe. And really, it's about, again, coming back to your body, but as a woman, coming to the womb
Hmm.
and receiving the wisdom that is there.
Hmm.
And this is, I would say, so much of what I do with women. I work with men and women, but with women, there are so many of us who have had different types of sexual abuse.
Mhm.
We've felt disempowered as women, all of these things. And this isn't a quality of like feminism. This is about like unplugging from all the systems, not needing to fight against, just dropping back into the system of your own body and remembering what that is and knowing what it is not.
Mm. Mm.
And we dream from our wombs. This is like, third eye womb heart connection. And there's a sexuality piece too, like the innocence of our sexuality. So this life force that's flowing through us. It's sexual energy, it's life force energy, it's dreaming energy. It's really all the same. And so a lot of us have, as women and men in different ways, but as women have shut down our sexuality and also, or like used it
Yes.
to manipulate, seduce, or, both of these like repression or misuse of our sexuality is a way to avoid what's really there. And usually there's, most always wounds behind that to turn towards.
Mm. Right.
And
Okay.
and that's where, oh, go ahead,
No, no,
sorry.
no, no. I want to finish your
I'm getting
thought. Yeah, go
excited
ahead,
now.
please, please. Yeah, no, I see where you're.
Um,
This is a fabulous groove. Say a little more,
mm,
please.
okay, thanks, Catherine.
Yeah, not needing to fight against. I'm really struck by that quote of taking the things, even the things that are uncomfortable. It comes back to the beginning of turning toward the uncomfortable, and yet not needing to fight even against that.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is where like the somatic presencing comes in and um, dream healing. The Toltecs call it recapitulation.
Mm-hmm.
Native Americans call it soul retrieval. I like to say it's retrieving your soul essences
Mm.
from these specific memories, usually in your early past is where the core wounds have happened. And a lot of people, like, if internal family systems,
Mm-hmm.
attachment theory, it weaves into that. So we're going to the original wounds, and we are these trauma patterns, these imprints occur when our nervous system gets overwhelmed in an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go, and then we create a little system.
Mm.
We shelve certain feelings because they're too overwhelming to feel.
Yeah.
And then that's how that plays out through the rest of our lives, because that becomes our default system.
Mm. Right. Right.
So whenever we get overwhelmed, then we're like, oh, we're just going to go into this. So this is opening that door to those certain memories so that they can reveal what it was that occurred. And it's usually uncomfortable. And yet, when we're able to really sit with the feeling and allow the story to fall away,
Mm-hmm.
then there's alchemy happens.
Mm.
There's nothing we really need to do except for rest into it in the intensity, which can be challenging. That's why we don't just do it. And this is something you can do on your own. It's great to get support in it as well. I have an amazing practitioner that does somatic experiencing with cranial sacral and German new medicine.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, there is some really amazing support out there.
Great.
And yeah, I get what I give too, which is a great,
Yes.
amazing thing to have in this life.
Absolutely.
The gift that I give out. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of supporting the supporter. Yes, and taking care of myself if I want to take care of others. So, Rachel, this is great conversation. We're going to take a short break. This is Rachel Schafer, and we're talking about somatics and singing and the body and intuition and so many things, the feminine perspective and womb dreaming. And Rachel Schafer's webpage is called dreamingintolove.com. And just let everybody know that we are broadcast live from the KSQD studios in Santa Cruz and co-broadcast live in San Jose by KCXU and podcast everywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Dream Journal, and I am Catherine Bell of Experiential Dreamwork. I'm sending out a special welcome to our far-flung listeners. We have Aptos, Watsonville, Santa Clara, San Jose, Pleasanton, San Francisco, Sacramento, Antelope, Delano, California, Corona, California, British Columbia, Frisco, Texas. We have also Hawaii, Quebec, and Finland. So welcome. All our online streamers. It's wonderful to have you here. And we all care about dreams. And so if you really want to help nudging this global algorithm to help spread interest in dreaming, please follow the Dream Journal on your favorite podcast app and consider leaving a rating or a review. That's one thing that really nudges that algorithm. You can also follow us at Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn to find out about upcoming shows and pod drops. You can follow hashtag The Dream Journal and at Experiential Dreamwork. Also, please contact me if you'd like to be a guest on the show to talk about a new book or to let folks know about your dream-related offerings. And it is time to start thinking about the IASD conference in June in Ashland, Oregon. June 13, 17, just a hop, skip, and a jump up the freeway there. If you are an author or have dream-related offerings you'd like to share, if you have ideas you're passionate about or a story to tell, now is the time to submit your proposal for a presentation. The deadline is December 19th, and I'm on that conference organizing committee, so you'll be sending your precious dream thoughts pretty much directly to me. Details can be found at iasdconferences.org/2026, the International Association for the Study of Dreams. Next week, we welcome a guest all the way from Gdansk, Poland. Professor Wojciech Sharkey has studied the dreams of prisoners of the Auschwitz concentration camp and of Ukrainian refugees during the Russian invasion of 2022. So that should be a really fascinating show next week. Today's guest is Rachel Schafer, and we are talking about somatics and body expression and soul essences and coming into the body. And her webpage is called dreamingintolove.com. Rachel, welcome back.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi. Thanks so much for being on the show. I wondered if you wanted to talk a little bit about something you mentioned in your notes, somatic shadow play. What is somatic shadow play?
Yeah. Well, so much of psychology, therapy, and trying to feel good just in general can be quite stressful. You know, everything we do tends to be like work, even our spiritual seeking. It just feels like we're working really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And typically we're wanting to make a change. And in the somatic presencing and shadow play, I call it shadow play instead of shadow work because we're just playing with what's there.
Mm-hmm.
We're just tuning into the body and we are developing a communication. And so with our listening, this different type of listening, right? And it's not just with our ears. It's like feeling, we're seeing and feeling and listening kind of all at the same time. And some ways we can do that is simply, bring our awareness and our attention to the back of our body, or like the back of the head. You can even do it as I say it,
The back
bringing the
of the
attention
body. Interesting.
to the
Okay.
back of the head, the back of the heart, the back of the belly, and you're dropping down into the body and into, the pelvis, the part of you that's connecting to the earth. It's a great way to ground yourself. It's a great way to calm the internal dialogue without trying to stop it. Because all this trying and pushing and trying to change, it gets in the way of what's really guiding us. And our bodies, I believe, or in my experience, are guiding us. And everything we want to know about this world and is right there in our bodies. It's like this magical temple that's just ours, this gift we were given. And we tend to want to push past it or avoid it and leave it for something that looks a little more dazzling. And, I recommend this for everyone who are seeking, exploring dreams, spirituality, to just notice how much of that seeking is an attempt to be somebody that you are not. And that's where we get in trouble. Because we can use, the divine light, the Toltec path, all these different ways and entering into archetypes, the goddess, the shaman, and put these on. But there tends to be, in my experience with these elders, there was this wounded part of them. And that's where the misuse of power would come in, because then it's like, ooh, that only works for a certain period of time, to use something else to try and fill something within. Because if we're turning away from it, that emptiness can only be filled by you, not by someone else or something else.
Right. But the abuse happens when you look outside yourself to fill that. Is that what you're suggesting?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's very compassionate, but also clear, because we can have boundaries and still be compassionate for abusers. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I really don't so much believe in evil or people that are bad. They may be doing not great things, but the bigger, when people are like, that's so evil, and it is. I mean, to some degree, there is, quite evil. But if you trace it, most always it comes from a very, very deep wound that has not been felt, attended to, and cared for. Yeah.
Cool. Wow. So, Rachel, we have a caller on the line. I'd like to say, if you can, okay, take a caller.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have Kathy on the line. Are you there, Kathy?
I am here.
Wonderful. Where are you calling from?
Corona, California.
Corona. Okay. Well, thank you so much for calling. What can we do for you?
Well, thank you for having the program. I just discovered you this week, so
Oh, wow.
I'm very excited about that. And
Well, welcome to the community.
thank you. I wanted to thank Rachel for bringing up, what did you call it? Awake dreaming, but what I call transportation to someplace different. Just a reminder. Sorry, it's very emotional for me. The reminder that nature is so amazingly healing, and you don't have to be asleep to feel that sense of awe and calm that that sleep can bring, or a good night's rest. And it's especially healing for me. And the dreams that I do have, the reason for my calling is really, the primary reason is I am part of a dream working group.
Oh, wow.
And most of us, and we've been doing it for 20, maybe 25 years now.
Wow. Love that.
And the participants have changed. Finding a good fit for the group, it's proven to be more challenging than any of us expected.
Well, there's group dynamics come into play for sure in these groups, and the people are very vulnerable when they start talking about dreams. So I understand that.
Well, yes, and creating a sense of safety is always our primary interest and concern before anything else. And there's 5 of us left. We lost one to death earlier this year.
Oh.
And but she was in her 90s, and bless her heart, you know what? She's now dreaming full time. And but she was a near and dear member of our group, and even struggled in the last year to try to tap in. And we do this all via phone, like you're doing.
Yeah.
We used to meet in person. I think it was richer in one sense, but one of us moved to Oregon.
Yep.
Now we just do it via phone, and we still have that same level of richness. And here's my pitch, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, please go for it.
We are looking for new participants.
Huh?
Just because someone wants to do it doesn't mean that the group dynamic is a really good fit. But we would love to have 2, 3, 4 more people. There's 5 of us now. We don't want to go over 10. And especially on the phone, it's a little hard when we're sharing. It's just a little hard with too many people.
I'm sure.
But and some of us, 2 of us, have actually worked directly with Jeremy Taylor, which, you know, he's like the shaman of dream working in my world.
He is, absolutely. The Johnny Appleseed is how I think of him. So setting up dream groups everywhere.
And he's, oh my gosh. And you know what? Losing him was certainly a great loss too. But we would love to continue the tradition of working dreams. All of us are over 65 now. And with the loss of Kay, and what we would like to do is, number one, expand the group for our own benefit. But for me and a couple of the others in the group, I would love to pass on the tradition and the wealth and richness of working dreams. Rachel, some of what you shared earlier about earlier childhood trauma, dreams have helped me tremendously. Not just dreams, but working dreams. And in the group, that's one of the reasons why remaining safe is so imperative. And because you are risking and you're very vulnerable when you share a dream that you've had. And even, you know what, I had the honor of working a dream with Jeremy Taylor it was a weekend workshop up in the mountains. And even when you are as amazing and erudite and knowledgeable and schooled, you know what? I discovered that working your own dream, it doesn't always work very well. You're too close to it.
Yes, it's so true. It's like this weird blind spot.
And that's why dream working is such a gift to give yourself, but to give other people. So the bottom line for me is, how would you suggest, or do you have any suggestions, even know of anyone? I would probably do the initial phone calling, but maybe someone else in our group would want to, you know, vet people a little bit. It is not for everyone, and not everyone is a good fit or even close to it.
It's true.
Being open-minded and a good listener are 2 of the most major.
Well, Kathy, this is really exciting, and maybe somebody listening now would be interested, and they can contact me, and I'll get them in touch with you. So, Kathy, you definitely need to leave me some contact information, or maybe contact me, my email or phone or something, so that I can get in touch with you.
Can you tell me what your email is? Or
of course, yes. My email is Catherine@ksqd.org, KATHERINE@ksqd.org. And anybody who's listening now can use that email, as Catherine@ksqd.org, to contact me, and I will get them in touch with Kathy. This is actually very exciting because I would love to be a clearinghouse for helping people start up dream groups and to join other dream groups, because it's really such an important thing that we can do for ourselves, and such a wonderful self-care thing is to find a community that suits us, where we feel safe talking about our dreams, or sometimes a little challenged, like turning toward that uncomfortable feeling that Rachel talks about. But
Absolutely.
to feel like this is okay to even go to those uncomfortable places. So if you please contact me, Kathy, and also anybody listening can contact me, and I will get you guys in touch.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much, Catherine and Rachel. Thank you for the reminders that I always need.
Oh, well, thank you, Kathy, and I hope you call back many more times on future shows.
I sure will.
Okay. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Happy.
Yeah. So, Rachel, look what you sponsored. You sponsored this this pretty amazing outpouring of welcoming to open up that group.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. So beautiful.
So we have a few minutes left, and I wonder if there's any topics we haven't gotten to. You mentioned some offerings that you'd like to talk about. This is Rachel Schafer, and her webpage is Dreaming into Love. I'm sure we can get information on your webpage. Is there anything you want to tell our listeners that we haven't gotten to yet?
Yeah, I can talk about my offerings a little bit. First off, I guide women and men. And right now I'm doing a women's 9-month online gathering.
That's appropriate, the 9 months.
Yes, yes. It's a birthing process.
Yes.
And the doors are still open. They will close in December. So if anyone's interested in jumping in, we do it twice a month. And it's about an hour and a half, and it's on 2 Wednesdays a month at 6:30 Mountain Time. And then I do a dream dance every Friday night at 6:30 Mountain Time.
What's a dream dance?
Yeah, so we go into movement, shaking, tapping, and then we lay down and rest into the body as we begin a process called the hollow bone breath work. And it is not like your typical breath work. It is, we're not pushing or trying to cleanse or remove what's bound in our chakra system.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is we go through and we breathe into each chakra, and we meet what's there. And it's a beautiful process. And then we move into something I call the dream dance. We dance to music, but it's your own dance. It's abstract, it's intuitive, and it is where we enter, after this meeting of what's in our body and our chakras, then we anchor into that body and then play in the energetic field, and then begin to notice how all that is touching us, or God, the universe, whatever you call that, where our physicality meets the energetic world, and you notice that it is not separate.
Right.
And then I do in-person nature immersions, which is just amazing. It's kind of like a personal day retreat, and one-on-one mentorship in person and online.
And you're in Montana, is that right?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I do retreats in Montana. And I think I had mentioned, right now I'm doing different events. I actually live in a pyramid. And I don't know how long that will happen, but if you are interested in coming to one of my events that is on like 40 acres in a pyramid with sacred art, it's really incredible. I also collaborate with others on events and also open the space up for others to have events here.
Wonderful.
So if anyone is interested in that, they can go to my social media and private message me anytime.
And I'll have those
and
full
also-
contacts on the episode page. You can see all that information.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's if you want to see the pyramid, you can go to my website.
Right. I saw
and
some
all the
pictures. It looks
information.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, Rachel, do you
And
have
then
any just last few words of encouragement for listeners? How would you like to finish the show?
Yeah. Go as slow as you can whenever you can, and be so kind and gentle with yourself, and know that you are pure love.
Wow. Rachel, thank you.
Yeah, Catherine, thank you so much. It was really good to be here.
Great. All right. So good to have you on the show. Take care, Rachel Schafer.
You too, Catherine, and everyone. Thank you for listening.
Bye now.
Bye.
So thank you all for listening. The Dream Journal is produced at the studios of KSQD in Santa Cruz, and we are live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific at ksqd.org. The podcast is released on the Monday after the show. It spreads interest in dreaming when you subscribe, rate, and review. I am Catherine Bell. You can find out about my dream coaching practice at experientialdreamwork.com. You can email me at catherine@ksqd.org. You can follow Experiential Dreamwork and hashtag The Dream Journal on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to keep up with the shows. I'd like to thank Rick Kleffel, engineer and music creator, audio editing by Suki Wessling, phones by Eric Nelson, intro and outro pieces are both by Mood Science. And tomorrow morning when you wake up, take a minute to write down your dream and bring it to the next Dream Journal.
Where you've come from is gone. You're going, never existed. Where you are is no